Hello, back again, continuing to build that map, and that map requires us to understand how this is working. And again, to emphasize something that was said in earlier videos, what I'm asking is for all who are watching to check in with yourself as you listen to what it is that I'm offering. And don't rely on whether or not you believe me. Rely on what you feel inside of yourself, what feels true, what feels like it makes sense for you. And again, there are a couple ways of recognizing truth, and that will determine how well or how vigilant we are at hanging in there. There's truth that we recognize because it lands and we just know it. And then there's truth that we react strongly against, and we have not found in ourselves to yet be ready to actually face it. So it's up to you. This is a growth-based model. And what we're doing is we're looking at those parts inside of ourselves that start in the internal and then move to the external, and it becomes the way we relate to others. So what I mean by that is that when we have parts of ourselves that we feel shame, or we feel blame, or we feel pain, we feel inadequacy or fear or a sense of not being good enough, those parts, if we haven't looked at them, if we haven't looked at the causes of them and found compassion for ourselves and found a way to forgive and reconcile different parts that have been fragmented or split off from us, if we haven't found a way to reconcile those things then show up on the outside. They show up in our families, between ourselves and our siblings or our parents or our partners. They show up in our workplace. They show up in our communities, and they show up in our societies, where those things that we haven't dealt with inside of ourselves feel so uncomfortable that they trigger defenses that protect us from believing some of the negative feelings. Though let me just say, when I say negative feelings, those negative feelings like inadequacy or fears or whatnot, those are actually our life givers, because those are the areas that give us the opportunity to grow when we look at them head on and then heal from them and then rise from them. But to go back to the concept that if we don't look at them, those defenses become things like projections, and we project them onto our partners, and then we also project them onto other people in society. And very often we tend to project those things in society on those people who seem or appear to be the most different from us, because it feels more foreign or more alien. So then those folks become receptacles for the things inside of ourselves that we can't tolerate. You know, a great anecdote is the phenomenon of the Karen videos that are going around. I would submit that it's a safe bet that Karen, a woman who's white, likely has experiences in her life of trauma, oppression, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of fear that haven't been fully reconciled inside of her yet. And then when she's out in the world, those feelings of fear and rage then get projected onto people that look the most different from her. And unfortunately, most of the time, it's most likely a man who's black. And that phenomenon requires that all people look inside of themselves and reconcile those parts that they have yet to heal. And when we heal those, it requires us to move from denial to truth. And that is what we are in now. We are in a phase where everything is right in front of us and more is still rising. And we have a choice to either move to denial or reinforce the denial we've been in, or choose truth. So remember, always believe in the possibility of making the impossible possible. Thank you. Sincerely, fellow world citizen.